Evening, everyone. Welcome to our 7 o'clock webinar. Actually, this is my final webinar, so very special one for you lucky people. Anika will join us when she can also, but as usual, there are sometimes technology problems. So when you join us, then please do introduce yourselves. Please do say hello, tell me your name and where you are, where you come from. So for me, my name is Emily and I am from the UK originally, from the middle of England more specifically. And at the moment, I live and work in Milan. I work at our Meravigli school, which is in the center of the city. So today we are talking about at the market. So some interesting types of shops to talk about today. Okay, so we're talking about how to ask for things at the market, countable and uncountable nouns. Of course, this can be something more difficult. It can be harder to remember, especially when this is different from your language. And we're talking about different types of markets. So I think we are starting with different types of markets and some questions. So for the two people watching, please do say hello. Please tell me your name, maybe what school you go to, although I know you do need a Google account to do that, so maybe you are not registered. Also for you watching, we have Igor. Hello, Igor. I remember you from another one. Welcome. So we are starting with some questions about going to the food market. So we have some question words, and Igor or anyone else, I would like you to finish the questions, to complete the questions. So we have with who to start with, also when, what, where, and how often. Okay, so these are all very common question words. So can you complete the questions? Maybe I'll do the first one as an example. So usually when we have a preposition like with or from, we move those to the end of a question. So for example, here, who do you go to the food market with? Okay, I want to know about people. Okay, so who do you go to the food market with? Okay, so you can also maybe answer this question. Who do you go to the food market with? I normally go with friends to the food market. To be honest, I don't often go to the food market. I tend to go to the supermarket personally because I don't really like to have to bargain, to have to change the price of foods. So I am not very talented at that. I am too shy. Okay. So the next question, you can say something very similar. So the question word we have is when. So of course, when is always about time. So we can use a similar question to the first one. So when do you go to the food market? When do you go to the food market? Or just when do you go? Because we know topic is the food market, so we can just say when do you go? I normally go on Saturdays when I do go, but it's not very common. It's not regular for me. Okay, so I go to the supermarket with my girlfriends. Okay, I prefer to go to the supermarket on Wednesday. That's nice. Why Wednesday? Is that just the easy day for you? Are you less busy on Wednesday? Okay, and you usually go to Esselunga. Yeah, I think I sometimes go to Esselunga also. Very convenient. Okay, so if I just write for you, so with a day of the week, the preposition is always on. So on Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, great answer there, Igor. Thank you. Okay. So number 3, we probably change the verb because we are talking about an object here. It's not so important, the movement. Hi, Luca. Hi, how are you from Nevada? That's great. Don't worry about being late at all. That's fine. My co-teacher Anika is also late, so everyone is late today. Okay. So Luca, we are talking about these questions about going to the food market. Okay, so who do you go to this food market with? When do you go? And we are now on question 3. So like I said, we change the verb here. We probably say something like, what do you buy from the food market? What do you buy? Okay, so Igor, you go to Esselunga. What do you buy at Esselunga? Okay, Luca, you usually go on your own. That's great. Yeah, I usually go on my own too. Hi, Anika, are you with us?
Hi, yes. I'm
Hi,
sorry I was late. I'm late because of
don't worry.
technical problems. Unfortunately, I can't turn my camera on. It just won't let
That's
me, but
fine.
I am here.
That's great. How are you, Anika?
I'm good, thanks. It's a good day. How are you, Emily?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Okay, so
Good.
we have Luca and Igor with us today,
Great.
and we're
Great.
talking about these questions about the food
Yeah.
market. Um, so
hmm
when do you go to the food market, Anika?
So I usually go to the supermarket about, oh, my camera is on again.
Ah,
So I
perfect.
usually go to the supermarket about once a week, and I usually go at the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be either um, Saturday evenings or Sunday morning sometimes.
Mm.
What about you? What
Yeah,
about you,
so
Emily?
at the moment, I go to the supermarket every 2 weeks because I don't like going to the supermarket. Um, but in normal times, like you, once a week. Um,
Yeah.
do you often go to the fresh food market on the street?
Well, I'll sometimes there are in normal conditions we have a street market on
Hmm.
Saturdays near my house. It's a
Ah,
really big one. So yeah,
with some
sometimes I go
special
there.
foods.
Nowadays we can't. Yes, especially they have really fresh fish.
Mm.
Like right after they catch the fish, they bring it there. It's like that much that fresh. And
Ah,
So sometimes I go there, but of course at the moment they don't have street markets anymore.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay,
do
so
you
we
ever
are
go to
all
the
just
street
at the
market?
supermarket. Mhm. Yeah. So Luca answered my question, what do you buy? So Luca said, I usually buy some fruit and vegetables, some milk, eggs, and wine. That's great. I think all of the countable, uncountable foods are correct there, Luca. That's brilliant. And hello to Marcello also. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are now, Anika, on question 4 in this list. So, what
Um,
question do you think you can ask with where in this context?
for some reason, I can't see the slides. I can just see
Okay,
black. So
okay,
trying to open the slides on my computer.
okay. Well, we're just talking about
So
where
mhm,
related to the
mhm.
food market.
Okay,
Um, so I would probably
okay.
say, where is the food market? Something like that. Or
Where is the feedback? Okay.
where do you go? Maybe.
Yeah.
So Igor said I usually go to Estelunga, for example.
Mhm. All right. Yeah. So the nearest to my house is Carrefour.
Hmm.
So that's the reason why I go there. Although I
Yeah.
prefer other ones that are further,
Hmm.
but at the moment I go to the ones near
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
Mm.
Luca has another good question. Where do you usually go shopping? That's nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, really nice. Okay. And finally, we have how often. What do you think for how often?
How often? So a question we can ask is, how often do you go food shopping?
Hmm.
How often do you go to the supermarket? So I think we have already spoken about this question
Hmm.
before. So
Yeah.
Emily goes twice a week to
Hmm.
the supermarket.
Hmm. We have an interesting question at the bottom as well, which is how
Mhm.
many different types of market can you think of? So we talked about
Mhm.
supermarkets, food
Mhm.
markets. I think Anika, you mentioned street markets as well.
Mhm.
What other types of market
Mm,
are there?
I was thinking of um, the butchers, although it wouldn't be
It's
considered a
not
market.
really a
Considered a
maybe
market,
a meat market, something like
yeah.
that,
Well,
or a fish market.
fish market. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Mm. Oh,
Um,
Marcello says I have been now at the supermarket. So you just went to the supermarket. Okay.
yeah,
You are our expert for today then, Marcello.
yeah,
Okay. Um, so I think we will see a few different types later. Maybe a clothes market also is another one.
sure. Um, yeah,
Hmm. Ah, okay.
yeah, clothes market,
Hmm.
and then there could be flower. Oh, would
Ah,
there be
yeah,
markets? Yeah, flower market when they have a lot of plants, especially in
yeah, yeah.
spring, for
Flower
example.
market, lovely.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Luca says a fruit and vegetable market,
Hmm.
antique shops as well, and an antique market, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Marcello also says I usually go to the market myself. Or by myself. So by myself when you are alone. Okay.
Yeah,
I prefer to go on Friday, but tomorrow it's closed. Yes, it's a public holiday, I think, tomorrow, isn't it?
it
Yeah.
is. So Labor Day.
Mm, Yeah. So the supermarkets are closed tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Or it's
Yeah,
going to close, like Marcella says.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
very nice. So I think we'll see some more types of market later, but
Mhm.
we'll move on. Maybe Anika, you can see the slide now or
Yes,
not?
I can.
Yes. Sometimes changing the slide makes it visible. I don't know why.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'd like to put these foods in
Mhm.
categories then. Okay.
Mhm.
Anika, would you like to read maybe the first three columns and I will read
Sure,
the end?
of course. So we have carrot, milk, pasta. So pasta is the same as in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
We have steak. So be careful about the pronunciation there. The vowel sound is A. Okay, steak.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have sausages. We have potato. Then apple, rice, and tomato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tomato that is a funny one because I say tomato and Anika says tomato. So let's
Yeah,
call the
there's a
whole thing
song
off.
about it, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
How do you
Yeah.
say potato?
The same. I
The
don't
same,
know
okay.
why.
Not a
Yeah.
potato.
Tomato, tomato. I don't know. Don't know why. Okay, the rest of them we have beef, cheese, peach. So all the smiles, all the E sounds.
Mhm.
Orange juice. So be careful, there's one sound. Orange juice and
Mhm.
melon. Okay, so I think we have lots of answers.
Oh, great.
So maybe Anika, you can read them out while I change the
Sure,
slide.
yes, of course. So Marcelo says carrot is a vegetable. So yeah, that's correct. It's a vegetable.
Great.
Milk is a drink. Yeah,
Hmm.
good. And then Marcelo also says pasta is in others category. Very
Hmm.
good. Marcel also says pasta is others. Um,
Great.
oh, I'm sorry. So steak is meat. Very good.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
very nice.
so Igor has replied to many of them. So she said carrots two,
Hmm.
steak one, apples three.
Ah, that's clever, numbering the columns. Very clever.
Yeah. So apple three, that means apple it would be fruit.
Hmm. Okay, what
Yeah.
about sausages, like in the picture? Do we have an answer for that?
So let me see. Oh yeah. So Marcelo here said Luca here says sausages are meat.
Hmm.
Okay. And next we have potatoes are vegetables. Yes, very good.
Hmm.
And then
Apple, I think we had.
apple, we have fruits.
Hmm.
Let me see if anybody has responded to rice. Okay, Marcelo here says rice is in others.
Perfect.
We have
Okay, so
tomato is next.
this next one is interesting.
Yeah.
Tomato, because it can be in two different columns, really.
Yes,
So,
I agree with you. So
hmm.
Marcelo here says tomato is a vegetable. Let me
Hmm.
check if it's anybody. Okay, Igor here says tomato also, he's saying it's a vegetable.
Hmm. I think
Mm,
yes. On the slide, it also says vegetable,
hmm
even though technically a tomato
hmm
is fruit because it has
Yeah.
seeds.
Luca here has asked this interesting question. Why tomatoes
Hmm.
are usually okay, why are tomatoes usually considered food? Fruit,
Mm,
sorry.
yeah. So that is because they have seeds in the middle of them, just like an apple. When you bite into an apple, there are seeds in the middle.
That's right.
Um,
So in case you guys don't know what's a
mhm,
seed, it's it's the really small thing that you can plant to
mhm,
grow a fruit, to grow up the trees. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Beef, I think many of you guys have said beef is meat.
Hmm.
Good job. As for cheese, so Yeah, some of you guys have said cheese is in others.
Great.
Great. And then for peach, so Marcelo says peach is fruit. Very good. He also says our orange juice is drink.
Yeah, nice.
Okay,
And that
nice.
leaves melon.
Yeah, so
You can
many of
probably
you
see
said, yeah,
fruit. Okay,
fruit. Yeah.
very a perfect summer fruit, I think, melon.
Oh, yes. And I love melon.
Okay, so now we have countable and uncountable nouns. So this is just practice, really, to become familiar with these. So countable nouns are things that can be plural, that have a number. So it's like a fixed quantity of something that you can count. So 1 apple, 2 apples. And uncountable nouns are always singular. They cannot be plural, and you can't count them. So some of these you just need to remember, but liquids are always uncountable. So coffee, milk, orange juice, always uncountable. Also, usually things that are categories. So, for example, furniture is a category, meat is a category. So there are types of meat, there are types of furniture. So these are also uncountable.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we have some practice here. So I'd like you to tell us which ones are countable and which are uncountable here. So if I just do the pronunciation, we have lemon, book, car, money, water, rice, potato, wine, tea, meat, house, and sugar.
So we already
We
have some answers here. Lucas says lemon is countable.
Lemon is countable, yeah.
Book also countable. And we
Okay,
have car countable.
perfect.
So
Money
as
is an
for
interesting
money,
one.
it's an interesting one. So we have Marcelo and Lucas saying money is uncountable. Good job.
Perfect, yeah. So to count money, we use the currency, so euros, dollars.
Yes.
Okay. What about water?
So we have some answers for water as well. Luca and it says water is uncountable. Good. So
As
it
a
says it's a
liquid.
liquid. Yeah. Rice, Marcelo says uncountable. Good job. You can't really count rice.
No,
And
it would take a long time.
yeah. And then we have potato. Igor says potato is countable. Very good. So we already had. So Igor had mentioned previously wine is
Yeah.
uncountable. And then we have tea. Yes, many of you, I think, have said tea is uncountable. Good job, Luca. What about meat? Okay, good, Luca. Meat is uncountable.
Yeah. Okay, so we just have house and sugar remaining.
Okay, so Igor has answered them. House is countable, sugar uncountable.
Perfect. Okay. I think Igor also had a useful comment earlier as well, which was, if I can find it, saying that a bottle of wine is countable. So you're right. You can use a different noun to make something countable. So a bottle is very common, a bottle of wine. We often use a piece of as well. That's very, very common. So a piece of meat. Yeah, so any quantity. So a glass of wine, a glass of milk is another common one. Okay, so normally something of to make something countable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll move on there. So we have many and much as well, which is continuing with countable and uncountable nouns. So this is a very, very similar activity to the previous one. So in questions, we use many with countable nouns. So how many, and much or how much with uncountable. Okay. So I think
I can read the.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to read the words for pronunciation. So we
Okay,
have
great.
pasta, we have apples, sausages, rice, milk, tomatoes, cheese, and peaches.
Okay.
So depending on whether they're countable or uncountable, please categorize them into much or many.
Okay, I think Luca has started on this. That's great. And Igor as well.
Yeah. So much pasta, good. Luca says many apples, very good.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Okay, sausages. I think we had on the previous slide, people knew that was countable. So we have many for
Many
sausages.
Yeah. We also had rice in the previous slide. We were saying that it's not possible to count. So very good. Igor says much rice. Okay.
Okay. Milk, again, we also had. So we can't count a liquid. So we say how much milk.
Yeah. And then tomatoes is plural here. So that's a big indication. That's a countable noun. So very good, Igor, again. Many tomatoes. Luca as well. Very good.
Great. Cheese is the interesting one here. Do we have any answers for cheese?
Yeah, Luca says, and also Igor says much cheese.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good job. And peaches, many. Good.
Okay, great. And I think at least one person completed the question and said how, Igor, for example, said, how many apples do you want? That's absolutely right. Or how much pasta do you want? Great questions there. Okay. Yeah. So I think now we have a conversation, but we need to put the answers in the correct order. Okay, so maybe I will read the blue and then Anika, would you read the red after?
Yeah.
So the questions we have, good morning, how can I help you? Okay, how many apples? Here you are, 6 apples.
Okay. 6 apples, please. Thank you. And I'd like some apples, please.
We have another really nice question from Marcello. How many eggs have you got? So we have 2 ways to talk about possession. Yeah. So we say, do you have or have you got? And they are both correct there. That's a nice question. And also from Marcello, another question. How much water do you have in your fridge? Really nice. I don't have any water in my fridge. So I drink tap water from from the water in my house. What about you, Anika? How much water do you have in your fridge?
It's the same for me. I don't keep water in my fridge. I prefer to have water, normal temperature water.
Okay, I think Luca gave us the first answer. I'd like some apples, please. Yeah, 6 apples. And then thank you. And then what do you think the shopkeeper says to finish the conversation? So what comes after thank you?
All right. So
Very common phrase.
after thank you comes you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a contraction of you are, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. Lika had got that as well. That's
Oh, good.
nice. Okay. We're often very, very polite. Some people
Yeah.
say too polite. Lots of thank you, lots of pleases. Okay, that's great. So here is another one, just with an uncountable conversation. So Anika, would you like to read the blue this time?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have good morning. How can I help you? Okay, how much cheese? Here you are, 200 grams of cheese. Do you want anything else?
Then the answers, we have 200 grams, please. I'd like some cheese, please. And no, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah.
So for the quantities, as we said, for uncountable things, you can use a something of, as we talked about, or you can use the weight. So you have 200 grams in this example, or 1 liter for liquids, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So maybe I think most of you will know the answers here, so I think we'll go
Yeah.
through them quickly. So Anika, what's the first answer that we put?
So, good morning. How can I help you? The answer would be I'd like some cheese, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very
And
polite.
how much cheese?
I would say 200 grams, please.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that means the final one we have that's all or that's everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I think we will skip the following conversation and talk about some different types of markets for the last 20 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes. So, Anika, which market is most interesting to you?
I would go for flower market.
Okay, great. Let's talk about the flower market then. Okay, so a question then. So, what can you buy at a flower market?
So a flower market is really nice to go to in spring, especially with a lot of flowers around. Now would be the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only things I can think of are flowers and plants. But that's not really true because you can find seeds as well, flower seeds to plant.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
or you can buy products to take care of your plants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Yeah.
personally am
Plant
not very
food.
good at taking care of plants. What about you,
Mhm.
Emily? Do you have a green thumb?
I don't really. I occasionally buy flowers, but
Mm,
I don't expect them to live very
mm,
long. I don't buy plants really.
yeah,
Yeah, Luca plants flowers, seeds, absolutely. Sometimes soil, the earth that you use.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Marcello also says at the flower market, normally means at for markets, I can get some flowers, some plants, some herbs. Yeah, you can get herbs
Hmm,
sometimes from flower markets. That's a good
yes.
point. Yeah.
That's an interesting word because it can be pronounced differently. Some people
Oh,
say
yeah.
herb, and some
Hmm.
people say herb.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm British. I don't do that. So
Yeah.
another interesting question is number two. So why do you buy flowers? So, Marcello, Luca, anyone else? Why do you buy flowers? Or Anika?
Well, so before I answer my about myself,
Hmm.
I'm gonna read Luca's comments here. So you can buy flowers to show your love to your wife.
Oh, that's
Oh,
lovely.
that's sweet. Yeah.
That's very sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
I personally buy flowers just for my window as a
Hmm.
nice decoration,
Yeah.
and just to remember that it's springtime.
Hmm.
So this is the only time of the
Yeah.
year when I do buy flower plants, really.
Hmm. Yeah. When I buy flowers, it's normally spring as well. Um,
Yeah.
oh, Marcello echoed what Luca says because my wife loves
Mm,
them. So we need the plural there. My wife loves
yeah.
them. That's nice. Yeah, I am similar to you, Anika. I
Mhm,
usually buy them for myself, sometimes also for friends, maybe to
mhm.
celebrate something or to say that I am thinking of them. I
Right.
think I bought flowers one time for my grandmother for her birthday,
Oh, that's
but
sweet.
normally for myself.
Hmm. Do you buy flowers on Women's Day in England? Because that is a festival.
No, no, I don't. It's normally
Mhm.
just when I want them.
Okay.
And so, like you said, in springtime, sometimes you
Mhm,
want to look at flowers.
mhm.
Mm. And what about number three? Where do you buy flowers?
So these days, I have been buying flowers from the supermarket.
Mm.
In Salunga, they have a nice collection here
Oh,
now. Yeah.
well, that's nice.
All right. So
Okay.
Marcel here says, I usually buy flowers in the flower market because I think they're the best. They are the best there, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And yeah, Luca, similarly, I sometimes buy flowers in the flower market near my home. Yeah, often you want somewhere very local to you,
Mm,
so you don't have to walk very far with them. Um, I I actually haven't bought flowers in Italy, but when I was in the UK, I went to a florist, which is a flower shop.
mm,
They just have a special name for a flower
mm.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very nice. Okay, so I think we won't do a conversation. We'll maybe talk about a different type of market instead.
Hmm.
Um, so what is the black market? 'Cause this may
So,
or may not be a term people know.
hmm. Well, so black market is it's not a very good place, I would say, because they sell illegal things, things that they're not supposed to, or
Hmm.
things that they're not authorized to sell in that
Hmm.
place. So
Yeah.
that's the black market.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's maybe
Mhm.
illegal things
Or
or
maybe
things that you
stolen
cannot get.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
Such.
Okay, Igor wants to talk about the black market more. I think maybe it's an interesting one, maybe.
Mhm.
I like this image.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about what it is.
Mhm.
Ah, where is the black market? Okay, Luca says the black market is similar to the deep web. It can be. Yeah, it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be. Because yes, you can buy things on the deep web, but the black market can also be more local. Maybe it's just people buying things without paying tax. So some of that can just be people exchanging objects, things
Mhm.
like that. So it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be
Mhm.
online.
Yeah. Um, Marcella seems to have a question here. Can you put the picture?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think he wanted to go onto this slide. I think
Okay.
that's the question.
Mm,
Okay, yeah, something illegal. That's
yeah, it
right.
is something
Okay.
illegal.
What can you buy on the black market? So, Anika, you said maybe
Mm,
stolen things.
hmm. Yeah, makes me think of stolen cars,
Mm-hmm.
stolen something that could be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
that people have stolen. What else?
Yeah, I think the example on this slide is a piece of art, a
Yeah.
famous piece of art. It could be, I think, in wartime
Hmm.
when people had to control what they were eating, when you could only buy limited things,
Hmm.
then the black market was more about food.
Yeah.
Um, and I think in the UK, the if things continue, there will probably be a black market for toilet roll because everyone is buying a lot of toilet roll in the UK, which is a bit ridiculous, but there you go.
But is it still the same? Didn't people slow down on buying the toilet rolls yet?
I think they have a little. It's still
Ah,
some people know,
okay.
but
That's
I know
funny.
the UK shops are people in the UK are buying more than people in Italy, definitely.
Okay.
The shops are more empty there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank God we haven't had to worry about that over here. Like
I
when I
know.
run out and I go to the supermarket, it's always there. That
Yeah, I know. I
was the
know.
problem there.
I think in my local supermarket, the
Hmm.
area where there is normally the self checkout,
Hmm.
where you don't need someone to scan
Hmm.
everything for you,
Yes.
then there is just a mountain of toilet roll in that area, which always makes me laugh. And I always send a picture to my family in England.
That's so funny.
A question from Luca.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you buy fake things on? So this is an interesting one. So on the black market we use
Hmm.
because it's not a real place. It's not a physical place. So we use on for the preposition. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe fake. Yeah, for example, a fake Louis Vuitton, a fake bag, something
Yeah.
that is a fake designer object.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a specific term for that, Anika? Like, 'cause I
Um,
can't think of one.
a copy of something
Hmm.
could be.
Yeah, maybe a
There's probably
copy
another word that I can remember right now,
or
but there's definitely something else.
a replica, maybe.
A replica, yeah.
Yeah. But generally, I think we could say fake or
Hmm.
genuine
Hmm.
if something is real. We
Yes.
often talk about that with leather, for example, fake leather or genuine leather.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, great question. So we have about 5 minutes left. I think we have time for one more market.
Hmm.
So, Anika, antique
Hmm.
market or Christmas market?
Ooh, let's go with Christmas market.
Okay, we all need some Christmas spirit right now. Okay. I think
More
this
fun.
is probably Germany. I think Germany is very
Hmm.
famous for Christmas markets.
Have you ever been to the Christmas market in
Um,
Germany?
Germany, no. I have been to
Hmm.
Christmas markets in general
Hmm.
in the UK and in Italy. And in France actually one time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Luca gave us the Italian, but for fake things. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think we just say fake in English. Okay, so what can you buy at a Christmas market?
Oh, it makes me think of sweets.
Mm,
Lots of chocolate
yeah,
and sweets.
the smell of sweets.
Mhm.
Yeah, and hot drinks often. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Christmas presents
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, but like you, I think of sweets. I think of chocolate immediately.
It immediately comes to mind. Okay. We can buy also in the Christmas market, so you can play some games. Like
Mm,
I don't know, bullseye, or like you throw
yeah.
things and you win a stuffed animal.
Hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
you can not only buy things, but you can do things.
Yeah. Sometimes ice skating if it's a
Oh yes,
really big market.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, Christmas lights, Igor says.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Um, yeah. Yeah, I think I always think of an evening with
Hmm.
warm food or warm drinks and lots of Christmas lights everywhere. Uh,
Yes.
very nice.
Also, maybe Christmas trees if it's a very big
Mhm.
one.
Yeah,
If it's a
yeah.
big
Is
market.
there, so Luca, Igor, Marcello, is there a Christmas market in your town? And when is it?
Hmm. Okay, so Marcel here says very beautiful Christmas market because
Hmm.
there are a lot of Christmas, uh, a lot
Maybe
for
a
the
lot
Christmas.
of things or a lot of
Hmm.
celebrations.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Christmas decorations. Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Do
decorations
you,
and presents.
mhm.
Sure.
Do you like Christmas markets, Anika?
Oh yes, I love them. I've been to one in Rome as well, which I
Ah,
really loved. Yeah, it was in a really big piazza there
mhm.
and in a big square, and um, you could buy a lot of things. Especially the sweets are really good in Rome.
Mm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
love them.
Okay.
Right.
I go. There isn't a Christmas market in my city. Ah, well,
Uh,
maybe you can travel to one. I go.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Luca, the same. I usually go to Trentino Alto, a DJ in December. That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah, often they are on for about a month, I think,
Mm-hmm.
often in most of December. Okay, that's nice, everyone. Okay, so I think we are almost out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, and Igor goes to Vienna. Very nice. Okay, I can imagine that's an amazing Christmas market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we will finish there, everyone. This is, I think, both of our final webinars. This is definitely my final webinar.
Oh.
Um, yeah, so we are very sad to say
Oh,
goodbye to
probably
you.
mine as well.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
think we did our first webinar together as well, Anika. So this is very poetic.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We started together, we finished
uh,
together.
yeah. Well, thank all of you for your participation, and have a lovely weekend, everyone. A lovely long weekend.
Yes.
Okay,
Have a good one, guys.
thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.